What is up, bros? With Josh here. In today's video, we're bringing you a pretty unique game that normally doesn't really work out. We are on the tier 10 French battleship, the Republique. This is one that's kind of my go-to if I really need to kind of just hit things hard. I love playing this ship. Its ability to flex and with its speed and its big guns and quick reload. I tend to really enjoy playing this ship. It's a lot of fun, and we were playing on the alt account, getting some games in, and always love going to the Republic. But this is kind of a unique game, and it's one of those weird situations where normally the kind of game wouldn't work out. This one, however, is a little bit different, and one of the funny things I want to see you guys look at is the mini-map at the start of the game. So already we're at a bad start because the the ships that are north are going south and the ships that are south are going north. If you've ever been in a game, I'm basically saying, wait, where's everyone going? Where are you guys going? You know, it doesn't have domination, so standard battles, you know, that kind of setup, people tend to kind of go all over the place. But I found it so hilarious, and I want you to watch kind of the islands around C8 or so. Give it a couple minutes, and we'll see how many ships are right in that area. But yes, the start of the game in a epicenter setup, and they have a division with both of the destroyers. We don't have a division with both of our DDs, however, they are kind of hanging together. But our north ships are going south and our south ships are going north. I found that kind of funny, but that is an always a bad start to the game. So the game really, as we're going to watch the minimap go through, doesn't get much better in that sense. However, though, somehow it works out in the end, and it's kind of rare because normally you're just like, well, all right, this is going to be a bad game. We'll see how this goes, and we'll just try to do our best. We're going to push up, though. They only have 2 DDs, so it's basically a coin flip on whether we're going to get spotted or not, since how fast the middle cap got capped. Obviously, both destroyers are going to be there. With having 2 DDs, 2 Shimikazes versus 2 Harugumos, their team has the Shimikazes. I would feel pretty safe in the middle cap because their detection is just so much lower, and so I felt pretty safe pushing up on this line. Their team doesn't have too many annoying ships to deal with. That could be super flank ships. Obviously, they have a Des Moines, Puerto Rico, Salem, and Venezia. Those aren't super annoying ships. I would say like an annoying ship would maybe be like a Henry, obviously like a Smolensk, something like that that can just really punish you on the side. But with these ships, they're not too bad, and us kind of pushing up this angle. Imagine if we had our other ships on this side, if we pumped in some more damage on that Venezia. So a nice little 33k salvo at the start, and you know, nothing wrong with that. He didn't know we were there, and we're just gonna keep pushing up because I love the ability for the Republic to kind of get into some situations. However, though, as you see right there around, I guess it's more B7 or so, about a third of our team in one square as they're kind of trying to figure out where they're going. However, though, the sad part is what has now happened. So we had our north team go south, our south team go north, and now the north team that was going south has made a 360 and completely let our Des Moines and 2 Harugumos out to dry without much cover. So a bit of a bummer there, but now we're into the dreaded Lemming train, and this is always a bummer when it's a Lemming train. Normally this never works. You know, you'll get a lot of situations, I see it very frequently, of people will get into a map and they will call you know, what 2 caps are we going against? Are we going against you know, are we going AAC? Are we going BC? Are we going BA? What's the call? And I always kind of say, don't do either of those. What you normally want to do on a map is go, especially when it's domination. Now, obviously, when it's standard battles, it's a little bit different, or when it's epicenter, it's a little bit different. But you don't want to ever give up a complete side of a map, even if only a couple ships are holding off 4 or 5 ships. You're worth your weight in gold. So what is happening here is this entire team, and what kind of ends up happening a lot in high tiers is a lot of people just tend to follow other people because not too many people know some positioning. So we see a spot right here where you had people that were north going south, south going north, and then the people that were going north going to south are now flipping around because they probably see everyone else going. So hey, everyone else is going that way, we might as well, right? So a bit of a bummer though, but again, we have not much support for our Des Moines. Our Des Moines basically let out to dry down south, which is a bit of a bummer. the Kremlin and the GK are all getting wrecked. But the problem we have right here is all of these ships are so passive, and they're so far behind now because they took so much time bouncing around. As you see, our Des Moines was left out to dry, had no support from big guns, and we are in a spot where we have some decent damage already, but we're probably going to need to make a play. And you'll see me here going, okay, well, we're going to have some big guns. We have the Conqueror, we have the Yamato, we have the Smolensk. We've lost the Hiragumo now, so this is a terrible start. This game, throughout me commenting on it during the stream, we'll play all these games live on twitch.tv/mejosh. Come check us out. We need to make a move. Luckily, our Hiragumo got a Hail Mary torp on the Shimakaze, which is awesome. But what we have right now is a few ships that are fairly low on this side, so that's pretty good. I've been pumping in good damage on some of the ships. The other ships have been pumping in damage on this. I think it's the Thunderer that's right here, the Conqueror, sorry. And this Henry is going to be pushing around, and we'll hopefully be able to pump in some good damage. So I'm like, okay, we have a Lemming train. What do you need to do with that Lemming train? Because look at the caps. They have both middle caps taken. They've had it for the entire game, and we're down by almost 300 points. You have to make a move. So I said, all right, I will be the sacrificial lamb. I will make the move, because nobody tends to want to make the move until it's too late. And that's when you normally see some battleships that are oh so passive, and they will go from 100 to 0 in about a minute or so. So I will take the Sacrificial Lamb. The Republic, not really the best ship at pushing, because it can't really tank that well, but it does have a fairly high DPM, so that's what we're going to kind of focus on. Also, one of the new series I'm going to start doing live on stream every week, so you're definitely going to want to check those out, and I will put these on YouTube as well, is I'm going to start doing a weekly map strategy series. I'm also going to mix in some weekly tech tree showcases. You've seen that a lot of other content creators, not so much in World of Warships, but in content creation in World of Tanks and stuff like that. I'm going to start doing that, so definitely if you haven't stopped by the stream, you're going to want to do that. I'm going to go over kind of all the breakdowns of maps. These are going to be fairly long and in-depth analysis of maps. They're probably going to take a little while, so I'm going to edit them down for YouTube. But if you have any questions or whatnot, definitely going to want to stop by the stream. This is a series that has taken that has been requested a lot. Was a bit of a bummer, that salvo right there, because I kind of gave up the broadside on that Thunderer to get that salvo on the DM. That's one that kind of ends up biting us in the butt a little bit, but it's kind of okay, honestly, because in the end it wouldn't have really mattered, so it's all right. But we are the tip of the spear, as people always called it, and we are starting to make the move. And what that has done is hopefully given our team the want to start making a move. And so we're gonna start going against Thunderer right here, bow in, but our Yamato has started to push up, our Conqueror has started to push up, and even our GK and Kremlin are starting to go back to the south side. So us hitting the W key a little bit and pumping in these ships and pushing those ships back has at least gotten the Lemming train to move. Now, I never recommend a Lemming train at all, but if you are ever in a Lemming train, there is a way to kind of get it back, and that is by moving. I would say the Lemming train, or what a lot of people don't realize what a Lemming train is, it's when the majority of your team is on one side. It tends to be what happens when a lot of people just really don't know what's going on too much, and kind of just are a lot of followers, is you get so flanked, as you see the Yamato and the GK are starting to get cross shots, and we basically don't have any map control right now. However, though, with a Lemming train in a situation is sometimes you just have to move, because someone has to charge, because everyone's waiting for something to happen to charge. If we probably wouldn't have moved up, this game probably would have been over, as we're taking all this damage. We're over 1 million potential damage already. Sometimes you just have to make the move and hopefully coerce people into going forward. Luckily we have, as they've started to round this corner. So we've now frozen the middle circle, and the center circle is one that will be coming up soon. That's one that we have to concentrate, and that is with a kind of a unique thing with the epicenter, is there is the three individual rings that are all controlled. You used to just be able to control them through the middle. But we are still kind of just hoping to get a little bit of HP here. I don't want to take a salvo from this Thunder if I don't have to. I was kind of hoping to, but you know, we're down at this point. It doesn't matter, and you'll see me at this point. you can't worry about dying because the game's going to be over anyways, and they have so many low ships, so you want to just get shots in. So I think I take another decent little salvo here. The Salem is sitting long range, so what this has done, and the Thunderer goes down, which is awesome, so that's what I was kind of waiting for. So at this point in the game, we're basically full speed. There's nothing we can really do. We get a nice Citadel on that Salem, which somebody tags up for and finishes him off, I think, right here, or somebody has another salvo coming in that finishes him off, because it's super important to get that in. And there's the sub right there. I think somebody finished him. So right now we're full speed. We're down still. They have a Shima. We'll see that Shima again shortly, don't worry. And the worst thing you can ever see is a Splunts getting away with just a couple thousand life, which is a bummer. But again, it is something that happens. But luckily, their team is kind of playing to not lose. They're not really playing to win. So they're kind of getting away a little bit. And this push is kind of working. The Lemming train, if it does anything well, it completely keeps some of the life of a team, I guess, healthy in a way. Because really, if it's a Lemming train, people are going so far around stuff that they don't take much damage. We've kind of been tanking the majority of it, at least on the south side. So if we look back, our Yamato is fairly healthy. Our Conqueror is very healthy. So we have some decent guns, but we're also going to see a couple people get a little too aggressive on this. But anyway, we kind of are coming back a little bit. We've tied it up. They still have one destroyer. And we've frozen the middle, and now we've frozen the middle ring as well as the center ring. So everything is frozen right now. We're actually in a standstill, and we're making some progress here as their GK sitting broadside. They have some very low ship. The Venezia is low. The Smolensk is very low. We saw him with a couple thousand life. And the Puerto Rico is sitting on about 15k, but as worst case scenario, we saw the Yamato. Their Conqueror, or our Conqueror, kills their Monty, so that's a fantastic thing. And one thing I potentially could have done different here is not fired there, but at this point we have to chunk through HP, so I don't think it really matters. But one thing I could have done is keep a little bit of life here, because the Smolensk is gonna be able to just farm me for a while. But still, we're making this push. It's one of those things where we are just 100%. I'm gonna try to keep those battleships that are on the north side at bay as much as I can. He's popping radar, so the Shima is a bit farther out from that. And actually, the Shima must have been right on the edge. But again, shout out to this GK sailing broadside, because he kind of let us get back into this game. But again, just like that, Lemming trains are a terrible situation to be in. Being so one-sided, heavy on the one side is always a bummer. And this is where the end of me begins. I take one salvo here, but again, we just got to lead the push. Dying in this game isn't the worst thing, but if you can make some trades and make a push, like our Henry, what our Henry should have done here is actually gone a lot farther south. If he would have gone a lot farther south, he would have been able to farm those guys from range, and it would have kind of worked out for him. But me, I'm pushing, and I kind of have to. So our Henry, although he played pretty solid throughout the majority of the game, he kind of is just letting himself. Basically, he threw away his ship kind of late game. So see the direction he's focusing now, the direction he fired in. That's what he should have done beforehand. He should have actually gotten into an angle here and then started farming from this way. He wouldn't have died as quickly and probably could have got at least a kill or two. But overall, here is our push, and we did make the push. Here's the end of our, as I said, we would see that Shima again. However, though, one thing that's happened is we've gotten right back in this game, and we are so freaking healthy compared to their team. So Shima is in that smoke. We're rotating over, but look how healthy our team is. We have the Yamato, we have our Kremlin, who's 3/4, 80% life or whatever. Our Conqueror is super healthy and probably has a heal. Our Yamato is healthy. Our Smolensk is healthy. And even the Des Moines that we have is healthy, and we're still stopping all the rings. So we're actually gaining ground on this push. So somehow the Lemming train is working right now. I don't know how it's working, but it is working, and it's worked so far. But yeah, this is going to be part of, and this is one of the things too, this is just kind of a funny game overall. The Yamato is pushing in here, Venezia is up, and our Smolensk is going to be a statistic here pretty soon. Yamato shells going in and dealing with the Venezia, so that's awesome right there. Our Smolensk is going to be a statistic of sitting in smoke, sitting perfectly broadside. This is why when you're sitting in smoke, you kind of want to be angled to a point You want to be angled either in towards the enemy or away, because that'll offer you a chance to start working. So what this Smolensk should have done is he should have actually gone on the other side of his smoke, turned away this way. He would have been able to dodge them just as much. He should have turned away and obviously gotten on the side of this, used this island to start farming the Yamato. Now he's basically fully committed into doing this, but it kind of works out because what does he do? He pushes in towards this Shimakaze somehow. Shimakaze got spotted. I don't know if he fired or if it was close enough to the Yamato, but he is going to get that Hydra on there, and it is going to kind of work out. Damage in on the Shima, and the Yamato is, I think, going to finish him off. Or I think, does he go down to... Oh, no, the Yamato secondary's got him, and the Smolensk probably could have got him there. So we're trading the Smolensk for that. We did lose the Yamato, which does suck, but we are so healthy compared to their team. The Smolensk is super low. The Puerto Rico goes down, and this epic throw. Somehow the Lemming train worked. I don't know how. But hey, every once in a while, you know, something wonky is going to happen. We are super healthy compared to them, and our Kremlin is going to finish out in style compared to this. Our Conqueror is super heavy. Even if he took all the torps, I think he's still fine from the Smolensk, and the Salvo will come in, and I'm trying to watch to see what happens here. Ram goes in on the Yamato. Perfect trade. It's fine. Shots in from that, and bingo bango. So anyways, guys, this is going to be the start. It's going to be a weekly series where we go over some map strategies and going over that. So if you have ever wanted some more info, this is all going to be from my opinion on how I play maps too. So if you've ever wanted to maybe get a bit of an inside on maybe some different ways to play maps, definitely come by twitch.tv/mejash, and you can come check us out, come hang out, and ask away questions. That's what I love doing these kind of series for, is people coming in and actually being able to ask questions and answer questions that anybody has in the chat and everything. So anyways, a fun little game, kind of a cool little transition into a new series. But when the Lemming train worked, kind of a goofy one. But hey, sometimes you just gotta lead the pack and let the team do its thing. But anyways, guys, that is it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.